Hi everyone, welcome to the Ask Bess show every Saturday and Sunday here at noon Eastern Time. How are you today? It's a beautiful Sunday morning here, and I wonder what it's like where you are. And if you're watching the replay, please type replay because I would like to thank you for that. Topic of this show today is how to use any challenge, use any or every challenge as a stepping stone in life. And this is the Ask Bess show. Of course, you can ask a question here. You can also private message me a question if you'd like me to respond to that on the show, perhaps using your name, or if you don't want to use your name, just say, anonymous. I can do that. So, who am I? I am Bess McCarty, a counselor, coach, body-mind therapist, holistic health practitioner for 30 years, helping people to overcome fears and negative beliefs and break through blocks to their success in their life, whether it be in health, wealth, or love. And welcome, Kindness. Welcome, Raja. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining, and love to hear where you're watching from. Where are you from? Like to hear that. So this show is one where you can ask questions about anything, about network marketing, which is my niche for network marketers. I'm also called the shrink of MLM. So this is a show where you can ask questions or learn about network marketing or any entrepreneurship or any job or career, about family, relationships, communication, about health, weight loss, or spiritual fulfillment, all of these things. And Raj is from Toronto. Yes, I remember now. Welcome from Toronto, and welcome, Kindness. I think, Kindness, are you a friend of Shamala's? Are you from South Africa too? I was trying to remember where you're from. So a lot of people have challenges in a lot of areas, and my message to you is, I hear you. You matter. You're not alone. I'll respond. You're bigger than any problem that is before you. You can become a master problem solver, and I'll help. I have a process called Real Conversations where you can solve a problem in 4 simple steps, and I'll share that with you right after we cover the topic for today. Also, where you can get free tools and a class. So welcome, Shamala. I didn't send out the invites yet. I'll send out a few of those now to people. So I'm glad you all could pop on. I'm not so good at giving you my focused attention while I send out the invites. That's why I hesitate on those. But have to get better at talking and doing this at the same time. But I'm inviting Joyce and Carol and David, Adrian, Bala, Luya, Nancy, and Patricia, Brian, Teddy, Lisa, and Liz and Rebecca and Rosie. I'm thinking of you all. Some people have asked to be on. And by the way, if you would like to be on my text reminder list right before the shows, just private message me and I can do that. And also, if you would like to be on my email list, I can show you how to do that, because I do send out really cool tips and reminders and special invitations, sometimes specials too. So glad to add you guys. Inviting Jim, Steve, Patty, Deborah, Mel, Thomas, Dawn. Okay, that's good for now, I think. I want to be back with you all. So, I love helping people. My background is pretty extensive. Reiki master, spiritual minister, holistic health practitioner, body-mind therapist. Been running a generic school for network marketers for over 10 years called the MLM Millionaire Academy. And my niche, I just love personal growth work and helping people with it. And I niched about 10 years ago into helping network marketers because you guys are my heroes. I was one full-time for years, helped me raise my son as a single mom. Now I'm a dedicated generic coach for network marketers, so dedicated to the personal growth. So welcome, Anand. Welcome, Luya. Welcome, David. Welcome, Gail. So glad to see you all. Celebrating a party here. Awesome. And if you've ever had a challenge in your life, please type yes, because once you know that we are not alone, right? Thank you, Luya, and thank you for the likes and loves. And if you know somebody who has gone through challenges or could use help going through challenges, please tag them, because maybe someone else can be getting benefit from this too, or sharing a personal growth, another Facebook group that could be getting benefit from this as well. So challenges, let's cover that first, then I'll cover the 4-step real conversations process. So challenges in our life, and Shamala says yes, yes, yes. And guess what? All of us go through challenges, or we wouldn't be growing. Some are big and some are little, right? But a speaker once said, look at everybody around you, sitting around you. She said, they're all going through big challenges. So have compassion. They're all going through big challenges, or else they wouldn't be growing. So let's have compassion for each other. Realize that everyone around you is going through challenges, and maybe, cut them a little slack. If they cut you off on the freeway, you realize, well, maybe somebody in their family just died. Maybe they're distraught. Maybe they haven't gotten enough sleep last night, or didn't notice you were there. So let's just give our fellow neighbor a little bit of slack and think, well, maybe something, incredible happened in their life. Maybe they're thinking of killing themselves. And this happens. There was a little boy. It's a chicken soup for the soul story. A little boy who saw his teammate, his schoolmate, clearing out his locker and trying to carry a lot of stuff home. And he lived kind of on the way. He said, well, can I help you carry your stuff home? So he said, okay. So he helped him carry it home. He ended up spending a little time at the boy's house and visiting. And the little boy told him next day, he said, thank you for your friendship. He said, because nobody was being friends with me. And did you ever wonder why I was emptying out my locker at school? It's because that night I didn't want to leave a mess. And that night I had planned on going home and killing myself. And he said, but after our visit, I decided not to. So maybe that child was having a tough time at school with bullies, or not being able to make friends, or other hard things in his life. And just that one act of befriending somebody, which meant nothing, very little to the boy, right? And just playing with him a little bit, or visiting with him a little bit afterward, saved a life. And that's intense. So welcome, Liz. So everybody's going through tough stuff. And I want to share with you a couple times in my life when I've gone through tough things. One was many years ago. I was dating a man who had 2 major heart attacks. Ended up in ICU, and we had just begun dating, and that's how I met his family in ICU. That's how I met all of his he had a huge family, and I met them all there. So we sat in the waiting room in ICU together. At that same time, there was a stalker stalking my house. And at that time, also, my sister had a major illness, and I was helping her get through that. So I felt like I was kind of at the breaking point with all of these things. And I remember saying to the universe, saying to God, I'm at my end. I'm about to break here. Better ease off. Better not send any more challenges. I've got enough growth for now. Thank you. And it did immediately. Nothing else happened. I had a chance. It backed off. It eased off. Had a chance to recharge. My boyfriend ended up being fine, and my sister was too, and the stalker was taken care of. So, but things can, when they rain, they can pour, can't they? And it feels like we're just at the end of our rope, and I can't take, one more stretch, and this rubber band is just going to break, But what I do is look and see, well, what qualities were developed in me? What spiritual qualities were developed in me that couldn't have been developed probably any other way by taking me to the edge like that? It developed a trust in something bigger than myself. Often that is my lesson. It's trusting something bigger, because I can have control issues, and I want to have everything a certain way, or be in charge, or feel like I'm capable, or in charge, or in control. And that isn't always the way life wants me to be. So it kind of shakes me up and says, you're not in control here. You can't stop this from happening. You can't make it all nice for people. You can't save them from what they need to go through too. I know with that boyfriend that I mentioned, he was eating, kind of a traditional American diet. So I come across, research and find all this heart healthy stuff and food and everything for him to eat, and recipes, and help him with his health. And my brother, who knows me well, he says, how's he doing? The man that you're harassing back to health. So, I guess I try with people's permission and all that. And I thought, yeah, that's probably more my agenda than his agenda. So life will shake me up, like a dog shaking a bone, and just say, let go of your control. Another time I went through a bankruptcy connected with real estate, that I had bought several houses and the market turned, had a huge vacancy. The value of the houses dropped to 1/3 of what I paid for them. Could not sell them, could not save them, and could not rent them, and ended up needing to declare bankruptcy. And not only that, it had a potential of pulling our family's farm along with it, because I was part owner of a family farm. So found a wonderful attorney but anyway, there was a lot of fear for 2 months, like I didn't sleep as I saw this approaching. And the message I got inside, spiritually, from my inner spiritual guidance, was let me steer, right? You're in between a rock and a hard place, and let me steer. And I did, I just trusted, okay, this is going to come out okay somehow. And it did. A wonderful attorney, I walled off the family farm from this bankruptcy, and got through it actually in flying colors. And, a friend said, gosh, I knew you were going to be okay, but I didn't know you'd come out with so much money ahead. Actually, it came out very well financially. So very interesting how things happen. But my lesson there was trust. So what I like to do to be able to use any challenge as a stepping stone is to look and see, well, what is the spiritual qualities that I gained as a result of going through this thing? What are the lessons that I learned? How is this spiritually for my good, spiritually for a stepping stone? And maybe these qualities of contacting divine spirit and learning that trust are much more than the money would have been, the money that it cost me, the money that I lost. Maybe these qualities are so much greater spiritual treasure than the physical ones were. Now, sometimes some of you have had illnesses on top of financial challenges, on top of, I know people that have lost their mate, their house, their job all at once. And, what do you think? That's a clean slate? My gosh, a chance to start over. I have friends, when I lived in California, there were a bunch of wildfires for a few years, and I had 9 friends who had their houses completely burned down. One of them was a family who had a very positive attitude, and that was, okay, now we have a clean slate, And like the people that lost their houses, one of the things that they lamented the most was losing photos of their children. That was their greatest treasure, even more than the documents and all that stuff, was photos of their children as children. And, that was before they were digital. But this one family, they said, well, now this makes us relate to our children as they are in the present and not as they were in the past. So I just love their positive attitude, how they use it as a stepping stone. They couldn't be defeated. They came out shining and smiling and profiting and going on to create a real estate empire from buying and rehabbing houses. And it's like, you can't get somebody down who's like that, who uses it as a stepping stone. Say, well, this is benefiting me in some way, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and look and see what that is. So I guess the message today is optimism, gratitude, and being aware of the lesson that comes with it. Network marketing company closes. How many people have gone through that? Their company closed down, changed comp plans, lost everything that they had built for years full time and come to rely on. Well, they had to start over, but of course they had the riches, the riches of what they had learned in the past, all the network marketing skills and business skills and people skills that they had learned in the past, let alone all the connections. So it wasn't hard to rebuild that time as it was the first time. But that can be discouraging, can't it? I remember Eric Worre said he had to start over like 8 times. 8 times. And there's this saint called Milarepa, a story of Milarepa having, his master, his spiritual master said, now build this house here. And it took a long time, a lot of hard work to build this house. He goes, now tear it down and build it over here. Now tear that down and build it over here. And so his master was Marpa, and Milarepa did this. It taught him a lot of patience and obedience and be coachable and trusting that there's a reason for all this hard work, right? So those are my stories for today. And Nancy says, yes, there are always challenges, and life lets you know that sometimes you have to take care of yourself so you can help others too. Yep, that's why they say put the air mask on yourself first before you put it on your child, right? And Liz, how are you? Some of you have gone through a lot of challenges, and you could be here telling stories. I'd love if you drop a line below and tell your story. And let me know how you overcame challenges. How did you turn a challenge into a stepping stone? So that is the encouragement for today. And I promise to teach you my 4 steps real conversations method real quick. And that is that when you have a problem, you look at the emotion underneath it and the need underneath that, and then you meet that need. So an example is, let's say that my challenge is that my house burns down, and the feeling is shock, devastated, discouraged, worry, fear, all that stuff. The need could be to trust. The need could be to trust that everything will turn out okay. The need might be to find some resources and help. But the need would be to get stable, I would say. And the way to do that, the fourth step, is to find a way to meet that need. So one way to get stable would be see what aid is available, ask friends for help, maybe if they don't know, but be sure to accept the help too. Another way to get stable in a situation like that, whatever the devastation is, whatever the challenge is, first see how you can take care of yourself according to Maslow's chart of human needs. First find your safety and shelter, and then find your food and water, and see how get that stabilized and taken care of, first of all, and then build, and keep the vision of the future. That would give the hope, because a lot of times we need hope in that situation, don't we? And hello, Coachy, glad to see you. And Terry, cool there. How are you, hon? Oh my goodness, glad to see you. So we're just about finished here. The topic was how to overcome challenges. I told a few stories. I'd love to hear your stories if you type some in below so that other people could be reading them and benefit from them as well. And also, if you have any questions, tips, or insights, this is a forum, a place where you can do that. So I'd love to hear your tips and insights about how you overcame a challenge. I bet you everyone on here has a good story, and I'd like to hear it. I'd like you to put that down there. And of course, if you know other people that could benefit from this, I'd like if you tag them, share in other Facebook groups that could be watching live at the same time or watching the replay. So thank you for sharing. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for getting the word out. So the real conversations process I just mentioned takes a problem, looks at the emotion underneath that, and then the need underneath that, and then solves that need in a healthy way. And if you'd like to learn more about that, I have some free tools for you. And I'll post a link. In the meantime, you can get it at the Facebook event, Real Conversations Class. Real Conversations Class. It's past, but there is information there where you can get the free tools. And the free tools that come to you are an audio radio interview and a chart that I made up, the 4-step chart, and also emails that come to you helping you, walking you through journaling, any problem to its solution. So I hope you enjoy those. That's a $250 item, a gift for you. And for those who want more help than that, I created a class on Tuesday night, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, called Real Conversations Class, where people can call in and get help with what they're going through. Or you can just listen in. So it's a live coaching reality show. It's not recorded for privacy, and you can come on anonymously or with an alias name if you wish. So this is your chance to get coaching. There's information about that class too. The class is a paid class. The tools are free. And for people who want more help than that, they call me for private coaching. That's where you can get a concentrated one-to-one quick help with anything that you're going through. But maybe the free tools will do it. Maybe the class will help you too. So I hope you enjoy these things. I'll post the link. Thank you for joining in today at the Ask Bess show, which is here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Ask any question of a coach. Share your insights. We cover everything: business, health, wealth, love, spirituality. We cover all that stuff. So thank you for listening in. Thank you for all you do. Let's be in touch, and have a great Sunday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.